welcome. I did not have an intro, but oh boy, do I have a big habitat today. So we're building today for the orangutan, and it's not ideal that this is so huge because this is built in our city zoo, which you can probably already tell from the style of it. If you've never seen any of the other city zoo videos, then I suggest you watch the first one so you know what the challenge is all about. Basically, we don't have a lot of space, and the space that we do have is in a weird shape. And this already, this habitat, just to give you an idea for the size of it, goes from the entrance to, it like borders the other side of the border that we drew. So, pretty huge. But I wanted to do it, not just because the orangutans can now brachiate. I honestly decided on the orangutan beforehand. I wanted to do orangutans with the small clawed otter, but the way that the habitat came about, I just kind of didn't find good places to show off the small clawed otters, so I decided to just, they're gonna have their own thing somewhere maybe. They're not gonna be with the orangutans. The orangutans have it all to themselves. And yeah, first of all, I really put in effort to do better climbing structures, because I'm well aware that my climbing structure game isn't gaming, it's not there, and so I really tried with the climbing structures this time, and I have to remember, I hope I will remember, I still wanted to put these tire swings, sometimes with climb structure things, they have tires in there. I still want to do that. I didn't do it in the speed build. I hope I remember to do it before doing the real-time part, but speaking of that, that's gonna come later. First of all, we do this little entrance area, which is already the backside to this habitat. And with everything in the city zoo, this won't be very natural. I will try to give the animals some nature, but I also try to get better at, because I always have this feeling that, when I look at my guests' viewpoints, they cannot see the other side of the habitat. It cannot look like a zoo from the guest's viewing point, and I just kind of want to get away from it because it is a zoo, and it is a zoo in a city, and we don't have the space to have huge backdrops. This whole thing is about saving space. So I'm quite happy with this one. I don't know if I said it before. For some reason I restarted this voiceover again and again. I was happy the first time. I felt like I needed to restart, and then all the other times after that I messed up. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm quite happy with this one. It has such a weird shape, which I like. And to one side of it, the border of the habitat is actually the nocturnal house. It's not there yet because I started building this before doing the nocturnal house. So the nocturnal house is the last episode, which is when we built for the kiwis. So then within this video, you're gonna see that in the back, for some, just all of a sudden, there's going to be a huge building, an unfinished from the outside huge building, and from the inside it's also not finished, but so just so you know, there's going to be a huge building appearing all of a sudden. And this is also, right now is where I found this, it's from the tropical pack. It's the Indonesian built set. If you recolor it in this beige tone, it looks very modern, these bricks. And this is where I picked them, and I think this is gonna be a staple throughout the zoo. The night house, the nocturnal house, is already using these bricks, and I think I'll just use them throughout this. So it's really the color, the piece palette basically for this is really coming together. I didn't make one for this. I kind of just no, I did make one. I did, right? Yeah, I even edited a video. I did make a palette of what pieces I wanted to use. I did not see this one coming, and it's really getting together now. We have these wavy, curvy, planks that you see right now, and so we have those. We have this beige small bricks with the Indonesian set, and we have concrete, and we have wood tones, and from the Australia pack, I love the wood panel set from the Australia pack. It's also very nice. I also used it a lot here. So these are the things these are the staples so far. There are probably going to be more. And yeah. And I really struggled to get started on what plants I want to use, because I don't really do, factual things with the plants. I do the plants that feel right look-wise, you know? They're not getting the plants that they have at home, or like where they originally came from, like the animals don't. And we're also not doing the plants that fit the biome that we're in. We're doing plants that look nice together, but they still have to be somewhat cohesive to make sense in my mind, you know? So I'm getting there with this one. So this was really like really interesting for me to do, which is probably also why it felt like it took forever. And I was so surprised when I, used when I put all of my footage into Premiere. I saw that it was like about 3.5 hours of building, and it felt like so much longer, and I've built so much smaller things in more time, because I'm also a very slow builder, so I don't know where these 3 hours came from. I didn't record all of it. I recognized that I forgot to hit record at some point, which is when I built this like weird shaped building in the middle, which I should talk about, by the way. There's this thing, which I'm quite happy with, actually. They can pass over so there's a tunnel for the keeper that's underneath where they pass over to the other side of this tunnel thing. I think it's probably easier to explain that in the real-time part, but they have a really weird way, like they have to climb to get to the other side of the exhibit, basically. And I thought maybe this used to be part of like an older exhibit, they put two together or something, but at the same time all of this is very, very modern, so if they did that, that would have been entirely, renovated to look to get this like modern and quite honestly a bit expensive look to it, that not a lot of zoos actually really have, because most zoos are there and then they get renovated over time, and it's not like one cohesive project or style of it, because it gets remodeled over years by different companies, by probably different people working at the zoo, even like different zoo directors who decided things, so and I don't know, so this is not really usual for zoos that everything is gonna have a cohesive look, but I want that. So we're gonna do that. So yeah, not much history for this one, just pretty and modern. And you see me using these pieces from the new pack, right? These like driftwood stuff, so pretty. And then when I was almost finished with these climbing structures, I realized they're not climbable, and you can't turn on climbability for them, and I don't know why. Like, they seem so nice for climbing structures, but they cannot be climbed. So I did put in some like also beige colored bamboo in there, which made it a lot more climbable, and the orangutans can actually like pass through this like tunnel thing up top, which is all I wanted, so that's good. And yeah, but why aren't they climbable? Like, that would be perfect, but I guess they're really uneven. Probably the animations would be all messed up if you use something so uneven, but still they look nice, they look fantastic for it. I was also very happy with the new rope thingies, because if you have, I think it's in English, they call it like snap to position or something. If you have that turned on, it will automatically like wrap around the like the pillars perfectly, which is great. And so yeah, try to put in more rope stuff here, and like I said, I have such a hard time with climbing structures, so please be proud. I really tried. I don't know if I succeeded, but I tried. Yeah, I like the look of it in the end, so at least that's that's there. And like I said, I talked about the plans, and I think I'm not quite sure how we're going to continue from here on out. There's just like stuff going on in every direction. I kind of want to continue with the nocturnal house, but I also kind of feel like across this like huge, across the first view that you get for the orangutans, I feel like I want something small, like maybe like prairie dogs or meerkats, and I would really like that, but I also feel like there's a huge building in the back, so maybe we can use that to actually have a bigger animal, because we could integrate the stables for a bigger animal into the big office building that we have in the back of it. I don't know. It also needs a food stall somewhere at the start, so maybe we can integrate that with the prairie dogs or the meerkats or some other smaller animal that I'm not thinking of right now. So I don't want the quackers, by the way, because I don't know, it feels like zoos don't really have quackers. I think prairie dogs and meerkats are much more of a like fun but not super rare entrance animal, you know what I mean? So that's why I want them there. And then, you know, have the big first, like, oh my god, with the orangutans, which also, by the way, I keep saying it, I don't really like monkeys or apes, don't like them. So I'm really proud that my absolute like starter cool animal now is the orangutan out of all, you know? I really jumped over my own shadow here. Is that even a saying? Is that a German saying? I'm not sure. It might be. Let me know if you heard that saying, because I'm really not sure if I just translated that or if it's actually a thing. So anyway, at this point I also realized that we could have ferns. I was like, you know what, I can afford a fern. So now ferns are part of the palette for this. But they really gave it something that it was missing, and now it's there, and I'm happy with that. So I don't know if I'll change these signs around. I think they're really boring, and they look kind of like an out of place TV. I gave them a wooden border, so I don't know. I'll have to see how it looks when I put in actual signs into these, because I don't know. I'm not ever feeling my signs, which is probably because I'm too lazy to actually make signs in Photoshop, but I'm too perfectionistic, is that the word, to use the in-game ones. And I also often have my signs turned like vertically instead of horizontally. Is that the right way around? I should know, but I don't. Anyway, I think it's time to stop this. There's only a few more seconds of this left. I do hope you enjoyed it. I usually say that in the beginning, but whatever. Okay, see you in a few seconds. Alright, so here we are at the entrance. We've seen it before, so we're not going to pay much attention to it. We're just going to go in through those gates, get our tickets, boom, and we're through. So this is the entrance area. My idea is to put the name or something like, welcome to la la la, on this wall, and kind of direct your view towards here so that you go here instead of here, which is the exit. So I kind of sectioned this off with this little planter thing here in hopes that, you know, you would naturally be more inclined to go this way, because that's the way around I planned it, you know? But yeah, we're basically directly looking at our orangutans. So over here is what I was talking about with the meerkats. I like to turn the corner and have meerkats. And then turn the next little corner and have your first view in here. I feel like this is very empty, but in a way I kind of want it this empty. It feels nice for some reason. And we have an orangutan over there, I think using the foraging box, right? So we have this other viewing here around the corner. I really, really like this like corner glass piece. And it also gives you like perfect view onto this enrichment item. Let's see if we can actually watch him, I think it's a him, play with it. Okay, maybe not. But yeah, this is what I was talking about. For some reason, the ferns really give it a different dimension that it didn't have before. So I'm really glad that I last minute decided to put in the ferns. One thing I okay, first of all, I'm now realizing that the thing I was talking about with putting in putting in more toys onto the ropes, like tires and stuff, I did forget it. Anyway, the other thing is like, is it just me? Like, is it just my game? But whenever I save and come back into the game, the climbing structures aren't recolored anymore. Like, they always go back to this green. Because I had them colored in like a tan color. And some of them, they are still tan. Like over here, those, they are still. And then those, they're not. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, there's another lady sitting around. One thing I kind of have to critique here is that I kind of didn't pay much attention to the shadows. It's not really working. But yeah, I guess it also depends on the time of day. But yeah, okay, so I totally brushed over it, but this is the first view. Like, if we ignore the green poking through, which is going to drive me crazy, so I'm just going to fix that real quick. Okay, I went in and fixed it. Way better. So this is our first view on the climbing structure. We can actually also look at the other one. And oh my god, we have a whole family over here. Okay, so another view onto our climbing structure. And like I said, I'm actually proud of myself for not giving up too easily. I really tried with this one. Oh, no. Now we can watch. Now it's going to use it. Yes! All right. Good job. Thank you. I rarely ever really, take the time to pay a lot of attention to them with their animations and stuff. I don't even know why, but whenever I see them, I'm quite happy, so should maybe do that more often, but I won't. Okay. Bye-bye. Okay. So now we have this super pretty brick wall. I'm still so happy with that color shade thing. And over there, actually, this huge building. That is the night house. It looks horrible from the outside, and we're going to change everything about it, probably. But like I said, I want to do this once I'm actually finished with everything else, to not, if I realize that I need more space indoors, I don't want to have to rip off the exterior. Anyway, I totally brushed over the exhibit that we're actually looking at. One thing I'm kind of happy with is how I, feathered out this, this kind of path. I didn't want to continue it throughout this entire park just to save pieces, because these are all individual pieces, obviously. Oh, this looks pretty from here. The exit. Oh, anyway. So this right here, probably not the most realistic, that there's nothing in between, but I didn't really find a way to properly do it. But yeah, this is our view into, without a glass. A bit more free view, and I really like it from this angle, this, I think, looks like a really nice climbing thing for them. It has this foraging thing on the floor right here, and with this planter around it, I feel like it still looks man-made in the way that I want it to, but lush regardless, and so yeah, that is that. And then obviously from here on out, you would either go probably here somewhere, or enter the night house, but there's actually some more viewing opportunities. So if we go, right here is where the kiwi from the last episode is. So on top of it, there's actually this tunnel that would give you an elevated outlook into the habitat from here. So it doesn't really fit the night house thing, but it felt like a good opportunity to have someone have an overview of this habitat from here. And obviously it's gonna have to be connected up to the rest of the house and everything, but it just felt like a missed opportunity to not use the house and the elevation to have a different viewpoint for the orangutans. So this looks kind of chaotic to me, but I still quite like it. I'm not sure I can really change it because I like it from all the other angles, and this is just one of them. But yeah, okay. So the next one that we have is probably going to be more towards the exit of it all. So over here we have kind of this weird area that isn't finished. The reason is that I don't really know what I want to do here or how I want to go about this wall and everything. So obviously this is going to have kind of raised terrain over here. So we're going to have this sharp incline. I don't want the path to go up here. I want it to go like this. This should not be connected probably, but I'm not all that sure. So ignore this in-between area right here. It's going to get fixed once I know what's up here. But yeah, in some way, shape, or form, you're going to end up at this little viewing here, which I guess is probably best when it's a different time of day, because it's really shadowy now. Let me try to find a better time to do this. It's still shadowy, but looks beautiful. So from here, you actually see this overpass thing that they have. So underneath here, do the keepers go into their house? The orangutans pass over it. There's another foraging box and some toys and stuff, and it looks lusher than I envisioned it, but I really like it. And then in the back, you see this huge building, which is one of the things that I'm so proud of, that I'm not shying away from buildings in the back anymore. And yeah, so we have this like very hidden door here, which is obviously for the keepers. And I've not done any interior. This is what it looks like. I might still do it, but for now, I just didn't feel like I needed that to be happy with this. And then here we have kind of the backside of what we saw first, and I decided to just go with a fence. I know they could be probably climbing up there. I feel like, you know, there's probably just like some electric wiring up there so that they don't. They could probably grab this tree. So don't look into it too deeply. I might do some like climb proving. Yeah, anyway. Later on, but this is really not like the attention side of it, but I still figured, you know, why close the view off when we don't need to. And from here, I think it looks really pretty. I'm kind of thinking maybe I want to incorporate this like curvy pebble flower bed, whatever, designed to over here, because now this feels very straight and this feels very curvy, but then again we have this straight patch here, so it goes back, and then this is curvy. So I still think it balances. And then we're back at the entrance, at the front. So, you know, all around you get views for them. And even if you, you know, if this is not your first view and you don't go this direction first, I still think going from here, you get nice views from it pretty easily. Like, even if you start here and you go the wrong way around the zoo, I still think it's a nice way to go. Oh, someone's hanging out over here. So I really think that it's good that they can kind of get to all of those viewing things. And yeah, so just to give you an idea, like this took quite a bit of space up from our shape thing. And then the night house obviously now looks more like a nightmare, but yeah, so we can kind of see that this is going to have levels and stuff. So quite a few species are going to actually go in here. And make up for that. So I'm glad with this. But yeah, this is my favorite view of it, probably. And yeah, so we also, I'm just now realizing we probably should be like putting like some information on here somewhere. So we're gonna have to add that, or maybe like on here. But yeah, I guess that's all for now. I hope that you're excited for this. It feels like, maybe it's just me, but for me, it feels like very different from my usual builds, and I'm pretty proud of it. Yeah, if you agree, then let me know, and if you don't, then be nice about it. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!